Good evening and welcome to this special edition of the Earth's Final Warning radio podcast. I'm your host, Brian DeLore, and on this tragic day in America where the lives of 4 Marines were snuffed out by a Muslim terrorist, I want to present a message concerning it being a time to mourn. And the scripture text for this message is taken from the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. I assure you that this is not a time to dance, but a time for mourning. What happened today was totally avoidable. Were it not for the insane policies of one Barack Hussein Obama, this would never have happened. Because Barack Hussein Obama has weakened America to the point that we are no longer respected by our enemies. And day after day, it's one gut punch after another from this bastard in the White House. If we had a real government in this country, he would have been impeached a long time ago. He's committed so many impeachable offenses, it's hard to name them all. One would be the deal he signed with Iran just yesterday that gives Iran all the power and gives us nothing. That's tantamount to betrayal. I'm sorry for taking so long to say the word. That's tantamount to betraying us. This is a traitor in chief who needs to be stopped. But you know what? He's not going to be stopped because he has the Congress and the Senate on his side, a bunch of sellouts. And every one of them should be removed from office and jailed for life for what they've allowed to be perpetrated upon this country, for selling out America to the highest bidder. The Senate and the congressmen no longer represent you. They represent every front group, every lobbyist, every special interest group, but not you. And because of that, America is being destroyed from within. Never mind what's going on from without. Just, it's enough what's happening within. And people are just going about their business, just business as usual. No concern for what happened in Chattanooga today. All the concern is for which team is going to win which game. Which degenerate slut in Hollywood slept with whomever she slept with. What Caitlyn Jenner is up to these days. This is a time for mourning. This is a time for sackcloth and ashes. This is not a time for celebrating immorality. This is not a time for that. And yet that's precisely what America is doing. Like I said, these things have become so commonplace, these types of shootings on naval bases, or military bases rather, shootings in churches, beheadings in public, whatever. Beheadings in the workplace, whatever. That people are no longer paying attention. And they have no idea what could happen to this country, the hell that could be unleashed on this country if God does not step in or intervene on our behalf. You know, the very reason you're living today is because God says you're to live. But tomorrow may be a different story. You know, the Bible tells us that unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain that build it. And unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. You see, you know, we have all these systems put in place to protect our country. We have police. We have supposedly Homeland Security. We have all types of paramilitary organizations. We have security officers, whatever we need. But if God turns his back on this nation, none of that will matter. None of that will matter. But again, instead of mourning because of what's happening in this country, Americans are going on with their lives, business as usual, you know, worried about everything except their country going down the tubes. But it's more than just your country going down the tubes. It's why is your country going down the tubes? And it's going down the tubes because we have walked away from God, and God has allowed this instrument of judgment, this bastard Barack Hussein Obama, to take over this country, to destroy it from within. God's not playing games. I think one thing you should take from what happened today is that basically we're not safe anywhere. You're not even safe on a military base. Why? Because the military has been disarmed a long time ago by one William Jefferson Clinton, another bastard who never should have been president. He disarmed the military for the simple fact that he knew he was he was a hated man, and he wanted to prevent a military coup from occurring. So the only way he could do that was to disarm all the soldiers on the military bases. And now, because of this disarmament of the soldiers on the military bases, we've suffered several attacks by Muslim fanatics. Really, let me take that back. I don't really call them Muslim fanatics, because actually they're living up to what their holy book teaches them. They're doing precisely what the Quran teaches. There's nothing good about Islam. These people, who are going around the world, ISIS, Hezbollah, whoever it is, all they're doing is following what their holy book tells them to do. There's nothing in the holy book of the so-called holy book of the Quran that talks about peace and forgiveness. No, it all talks about destroying your enemies, striking at the necks of your enemies, and all these other different things. So, because of these, actually, I hate to use the term, but good Muslims, obedient Muslims to the Muslim cause or to the Muslim faith, these attacks are being carried out. And by the way, this most recent attack is now believed to be the result of ISIS call for attacks on military bases, which I don't know when that actually occurred, a week or two ago, whenever it took place. And wouldn't you think that the commander-in-chief, so-called, would call for, a special watch on the military bases, call for, arming the soldiers, rearming the soldiers on the military bases, so they can protect themselves in the event of an attack? Well, of course not, because he's not on the side of the military. He's on the side of the Muslims, because he is a Muslim. I'm telling you this. So my point to what I've said in this rambling, disjointed statement I've just made, I hope you're getting something out of this, is that your country is in deep, deep trouble. It's been taken over by a bunch of radical leftists from the president on down, and they want nothing more. Nothing will give them greater pleasure than to see America completely destroyed. I'm telling you this. This is a time for mourning. Your country is in deep trouble. And it doesn't matter if Donald Trump is running for president now. Remember, if he were to get elected, it would still be 19 months from now before he ever took office. So the Muslim in chief, who presently presides over this country, has 19 months in which to inflict plenty more damage on the country. And he'll never be stopped. Congress could stop this in a heartbeat, but they're not going to do it because they're all on the same page. And like I said, the Congress now represents not you, but the lobbyists, the special interests, the pressure groups. That's who they've sold out to. They're nothing but a bunch of venal sellouts. And thankfully, this piece of human debris who today attacked these military bases is now rotting in hell where he will burn for eternity. I hope it was worth it, you stupid, ignorant bastard, and I'm glad you're dead. And I wish every one of you would die because what you've done to this country. And I just pray. The only thing I can say to you is pray that God intervenes in this country or in the affairs of this country, because if he doesn't, America is doomed. And we are going to enter a time of living hell in this country, an unprecedented. And I do believe that there will be people who rise up to what's the word I'm looking for? There will be all kinds of civil unrest. Let's put it this way. And we need to pray. You need to pray like you've never prayed before. You need to forget about all the things that this world has to offer. If you're not saved, you need to give your life to Jesus Christ. If you are saved and you're living for the world, you need to come back to Christ. If you're saved and you're not